And welcome to another episode of Chris Sees the Internet every Sunday right here, 7 p.m. on PlatformCollection on YouTube. I am KILLcRey. I am joined by my co-host, OG Hip Hop Eddie.
What up?
What up, man? We are back again another week.
Yes, we made it and survived 7 days.
If we are, or if you are tuning in for the first time,
Welcome.
welcome. What we do here is we interview
Awesome and amazing artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say people from around the internet.
Yeah, they hang out there.
We're going to connect two people throughout the internet, and today is no exception. We have two amazing artists coming on, both hip hop artists, multi-talented. I think both are writers. Both are podcasters.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be talking a little bit about the podcast game. Everyone's got one.
Yes, they do, man.
What are you going to do, you know? But we're going to be talking about that with Tanjint Wiggy and Parker Edison.
Awesome, man.
Our very own Parker Edison from PlatformCollection and the Parker Edison Project will be on later on the show. We're going to get into some in-depth stuff. So if you ever wanted to start a podcast, this is a good one for you. It's a good episode.
Take some notes, please.
Yeah, both these gentlemen are pretty experienced in the podcast world by being on many podcasts and then doing their own as well. I believe Tanjint Wiggy has a podcast over at Untapped, but I'll let him talk to you about that. He's an artist out of the IE. Parker Edison is out of San Diego, California. So we're touching multiple cities today. And welcome here. If this is your first time checking out a PlatformCollection show, we do not roll solo. We have many, many more shows just stocked up, ready to go for your enjoyment.
Yep.
So please subscribe, turn on your alerts. PlatformCollection. We're uploading a bunch of stuff. If you're into underground, independent music art from the goggles of hip hop, through the goggles of hip hop, then we're the place for you.
You have arrived.
You have arrived
to the right place for sure.
Yes. Let me see here. I want to. Oh man, I mean, I guess we would first. Do you even want to talk about the slap? The slap heard around the world.
I guess we could just to give them a little bit of it, you know.
I mean, we haven't. It was going on while we were on the air,
right?
Last week. I can't imagine that you're a living being, and you don't know that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. Since then, Will Smith has resigned from the Oscars, which means he can no longer be nominated or attend any Oscar events.
Right.
So for the rest of his life, he shall no longer be given awards. I don't know how much that is a punishment, but good for him. It seems like he's trying to take some responsibility in it. Yeah, I feel like it's a very polarizing conversation to have. I feel like people are split down the middle.
Right.
I'm hesitant to give my opinion on it, honestly, because I just don't. One, I feel my overall feeling on the whole Will Smith Chris Rock thing is that we should not be taking this much time to still be talking about this, and it's a shame that this is the major news of our country
till the date.
And it's no surprise that the rest of the countries around the world are laughing at us. There's no surprise about that. Yeah, it's a silly event. Two very rich men got into a
slapping
squabble.
It out. Only one slapped, I guess. Yeah.
And they were at an awards show where people were getting awards for being famous. So
that's why I think when Will Smith said he resigned. I mean, does it really matter to get an award?
No. I mean, the resignation. I don't know if look. Here's the thing. Like with Chris Rock, my feeling is he's a comedian. I defend comedians. I defend your right to say whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
I love that about our country, that you can say whatever the fuck you want. And you have to, it seems like most of the time you have to take the consequences that come with saying whatever you want to say.
I agree. Yeah.
However, I am one of those people who says protect comedians at all costs, because they're our last line of defense against complete editorial beliefs from different sides. The comedians are the last people. To me, a comedian can say anything, literally any. That's me though, and I understand that that other people have different things that might rub them wrong, different triggers. But I do feel like we as a society should protect comedians, because they're the last ones who can be honest. They can just be honest and say whatever it is in their minds, and we can all agree that we know that it's just jokes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for sure, man. Because I think if you go to a comedy, store or a comedy show, or even if like the Oscars, if they're gonna hire a comedian, then the crowd that is invited and that's there should, recognize, like, well, he might even throw a joke at me. Everybody could be picked on, or
Yeah, I mean, I think the people that are I definitely can understand how people are upset that this is a very privileged event.
Yes.
Right. Like, this event is for privileged people. Let's understand, like, the median earning potential is well above $1 million in that room. Well above.
Right.
So more money than maybe you might see in your entire life if you're listening to this show. Maybe you do have $1 million. If so, please subscribe and
donate.
Yeah. But if you don't, you got to kind of put that in perspective. I think it is okay to simultaneously go, man, I get how Will felt because someone he loved was insulted. No matter how you feel about the insult, no matter how small you feel about it, I also feel like that we live in a country that can be empathetic and go, oh, I get it. It bothered nobody else but him after it bothered her. And I get that. You're a husband, right? You're a husband.
Right.
You get where it comes from, right? Like, you get
I
where
do, yeah.
But my thing is, though, okay, so how I grew up, there was like a way to go about things, right? One, you never like snook a punch on anybody.
Right.
That was like bitch shit. You shouldn't do that. It definitely didn't look like Will was going to fight Chris Rock when I don't think there was anybody in the world at that moment as he was walking up to Chris thought that it was real.
Right.
There was nobody.
It's just weird. Yeah.
I don't even think Chris thought it was real. Maybe Will didn't even. Maybe Will thought he was just going to do something too, and then at the last minute, who knows? But whatever.
Right.
He did it, and so I think we live in a world where we can simultaneously go, "Oh, he got his feelings hurt, and he acted out, and he should not have acted out at what is the equivalent." This is the thing you guys got to wrap your mind around. This is the equivalent to like your work awards. So imagine you're at your job, whatever job you have. I know you guys have awards at the end of they do that, right? Like you've been at jobs like that, right?
Yeah, they got stuff.
Yeah, so
like
imagine the Christmas party, and someone says something slightly insulting, and you slap the shit out of that person. Most likely you're getting fired, right? Like most likely you're getting fired. The person that you slapped at the work event will sue you, and it would be different. It would be like if at your work event they hired a speaker, because Chris was getting paid to do his job. They brought him in. You're a comedian. Come in, tell jokes, light up the room. By the way, Ricky Gervais said, check out when Ricky Gervais hosted the Oscars. He demolished people, demolished them, embarrassed them. But yeah, he got hired. So it would be like if you were at your work event and then the speaker that your boss hired said something that you got offended, and then you got up there and slapped them. Now, all of that, again, I'm not saying should you not do that. I personally think there's way better ways to do that, but I also know I'm not going to speak for every man. Every man handles their things the way they handle them. So that being said, you got to kind of take what comes with that. And so the unfortunate thing about all of this is I think there's a lot of topics that get raised in this. This is why this is so polarizing, because right, we're America right now is simultaneously arguing, should this happen in a professional, should this happen on the Oscars? Should it be allowed to happen on the Oscars? And that I care way less about. I don't give a fuck about the Oscars. The Oscars are stupid. They're ridiculous. There really isn't a reason to watch them. But I get it. It's entertainment. That's what it is. And that's what it is. It's entertainment. So in our entertainment, bro, have you ever watched like WWE wrestling and occasionally a fan jumps over and gets in? What happens to that fan?
They take him out.
What do you mean?
Security. There's immediate security that will grab him.
Bro, what usually happens immediately when they jump over?
Like a regret?
Yeah, because why?
Because they know they fucked up.
But I mean, how are they knowing they're getting fucked up? Because they actually are getting fucked up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You left out the biggest part was that they immediately get fucked up. Somebody fucks them up because you're not supposed to do that. And they do that, and it's known. If you jump in a wrestling ring, well, you're gonna get fucked up. Why? Because you could be a crazy killer person.
Right.
You could do crazy shit. So I can only imagine like the trauma Chris has of like, I was at my job. Like, I mean, just imagine. There's nothing that man has not thought about. I mean, he's seen that punch in a million different ways in his head now, right? There's not a moment that he doesn't think about it. His kids have to watch it.
Right.
His family has to watch it. His significant other has to watch it. Was the crime, if you are saying the crime is he called his wife bald, being insensitive to her condition that he was unaware of, right? Because that's what we know of as the facts. So we take that as the facts. Because I was unaware of too, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
And I also didn't know it was that serious of an issue.
I just thought that's what
I didn't know what alopecia. I didn't really know it.
I thought that was her style, man.
Yeah, and she's beautiful. Let's not get it twisted. She's one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. But what this is, the unfortunate side of all of this is Will went up there to defend Jada's honor, right? But now that raises questions. Is this do women need a man?
Oh, I got you.
To do that? Do they need that? And was that him speaking for her? And if we're in a time of modern times, should you be speaking for, or should a man be speaking for a woman? Because this is up until this happened, the way I saw Jada, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, you're one of us. You're an entertainer.
Right.
So you can take it. Like, you can take the boot. Like, you should have been like, tell me this would not have been way doper. Like, he makes a joke. Jada just kind of laughs. Will wins the award. During his speech, he's just like, and by the way, Chris, don't ever make a joke about my wife again. That's a queen right there. Yeah. Boom. And we'd all be booing Chris right now. We'd all be like, yeah, fuck him. Blah. But no, that's not what happened, because you acted like a little boy. And that's really what I think a lot of men who do feel a way about what Will did is because he acted like a little boy. That it was like a little boy thing. Like, wouldn't it not have been clean for you to just go in the back and be like, hey, Chris, can I talk to you real quick? Boom, and handle that shit. But you did some Hollywood shit. That's the problem. It was a Hollywood thing to do. You knew in your mind, you were convinced there's nothing that can happen to me. Bro, his team knew everyone knew he was going to win. They tell the publicists, he knew he was going to win. He knew, this is my night. I own this night. And this motherfucker, it got to him so much, the pressure, plus, I mean, his business is all over the streets, bro. Like, he put his business all over the streets. I get all his sensitivity. I get it all. I get all the smoke. But still, nobody that I know would have necessarily handled it in that situation, in that context. I seen a lot of people on Facebook and stuff going like, dude, that's exactly what I would have done. You're not Will Smith, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're not Will Smith. You would never go slap Chris Rock. So you're telling me if you're sitting in the front row at a Chris Rock show, you're going to go up and slap Chris Rock. No, the fuck you're not. And you're not Will Smith. It's totally out of context. We cannot look at these two people and go, what would I do if I was in that situation? You're not in that. You would never be in that situation. You're not in that situation. These are two of the richest people on the planet.
Bro, I think
upper level richness, you would never be in that situation.
Right. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, that it's a bunch of rich people giving themselves awards.
Yeah.
I've been, in a work job where I work with very wealthy people, and it's a kid's thing. It's almost like you said, oh, it was like some boy stuff that he went and slapped him. Yeah, of course, because this is what they do, bro. When they get mad at each other, they act like kids.
They act out.
Yeah, because
privileged people.
Yes, they have nothing else to do, man. Then they sue each other for like money, and then it's like, yeah, see, I won that bet because I got more money in that lawsuit. Or whatever.
let's take it from this standpoint too, and all good points. I want to hear your opinion on these two things because you can relate. Now, as a father, if your son watches that, I'm sure it's probably had to have come across him somehow. It's all over. If he's just on the internet at all, it's popped up. He might not even care or know what it is, but I'm saying if he did see it and watched it,
right?
How would you explain it to him? What would you say?
I mean, I wouldn't get into details like, oh, that's the wife or anything.
Yeah,
I would just go like tell him like, you know what that guy did was not correct. That's he said something not nice, but they should have talked about it before instead of like, I'm going to hit you and then let's talk about it.
Because you kind of have to tell your kids that, right? Like you can't. Otherwise, the message is hit first, ask questions later, no matter what the situation is. Because again, I can just hear Facebook and Twitter going, yeah, but if that was my wife and someone came up and called her bald right in the street, again, you're not at the Oscars.
Yeah,
shut up. We would most people, if you were insulted to your face on the street, would defend yourself.
Right.
Duh.
Of course.
You're not smart. You're not hard for saying that shit. That doesn't mean shit. You're not at the Oscars though.
Right.
You're not Will Smith winning an Oscar. And then like let's not take away from everyone else that damaged. Bro, Questlove was getting the award that Chris was presenting. He won that award. Questlove.
Yeah.
One of ours. One of the people we should be rooting for. Hip hop won an Oscar. And no one's gonna remember that. No one even did shit. Like no one has. It was nothing. It was a blurb. Did you know that it was an all black production as well? Every staff member was black. First time ever in Oscar history. No one's going to remember that.
Ah, bro, it makes sense, dude. He's probably going to that next level with those people.
And he's like,
he has to do something to ruin that.
That's what I said. I was like, I believe in the Manchurian Candidate, like I was like, Will is probably a Manchurian Candidate. Like because man, if you could see the slow motion of him walking up the stage, it's just like he's not even there. His eyes are like Will click, like Jada clicked the like doot doot, and it turned him on. Turned on, and then he became a robot. Like like how can we fuck up something amazingly cool, right? Well, one, let's expose how not cool this whole thing really is. Because as much as we'd like to put emphasis on the breakthrough moments, I think we have to question again whether or not this thing should even exist. Why should it even exist? Because here's the reward. It's your ticket money. When you buy the ticket, when you stream the video, when you buy the video, that's the reward. And what they're saying is, that's not enough for me though. Also, give me a trophy. Not just, I know you went to see the movie, but now there's a trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we gotta just get into Tanjint, man.
Oh, he's ready?
He's on standby. But yeah, I mean, we got into, we were like in the beginning, then we gotta just get in there, man.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, dude? I feel like it's a weird situation. Let's hope it all goes away. Unfortunately, I don't feel like it's probably gonna go away anytime soon, but let's hope it goes away.
They're slowly gonna try to punish him. He reminds me of someone.
But Chris's tour sold out though, so
right. I mean,
do the math.
Yeah, or I mean, if Will would have done what you were saying, like accept the award and then say don't talk about, then Chris's comedy would probably not sell out.
No. Wait, real quick before we'll close it on this. As a manager, hey Tanjint, can you turn your camera sideways if you get a chance? We got Tanjint on the line. We're going to be bringing him up in a second. Last thing on that. As a manager,
yes,
would you recommend that Chris sues?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, because someone threw out a number of like $100 million, that it's almost worth $100 million, the amount of money that he's at. Because people are just like, look, dude, this dude, his kids are going to see this after he's dead. The Rock family will forever have to deal with that. $100 million is probably not that bad.
Yeah, I think since he originally said I'm not gonna like press charges, but then if it goes with it, even I think if he took 20,000, man, he's still like I got you for 20. I mean, I know. I'm just saying, like, okay, maybe like 20 million, or you know what I mean, like a big, like any dollar amount. I guess what I'm saying is like any dollar amount.
I say 100 million or more, bro.
Yeah, will be like boom, like that would be like the biggest.
Or to charity, like I'm gonna give 100 million to charity of battered comedians. I don't know.
Yeah, because he was saying he was bullied too, man.
Oh, dude. I mean, have you ever watched Top 5?
I haven't, man.
Oh, yeah. So he has a show called, or a movie called Top 5, loosely based on his life. And it deals a lot with like, he's not, I mean, he's a comedian. Dude, he's one of the best comedians. So, of course, he's fucked up. He has his own issues. You don't become a dope comedian unless you have issues. But anyways, man, hopefully it goes away. That's enough on that topic. I'm not bringing that shit back up again unless something major happens or whatever. But otherwise, oh well. Rich people, get your shit together, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, though, my homie,
mine too, man.
He is prolific artist in so many ways. This dude can sing. He can rap. He plays instruments. Man, he does a bunch of crazy. Yeah. He does it all when it comes to art. He's a friend of ours. I consider him a friend for sure. Stand-up dude. If you lived on the East Coast, you'd probably say he's a mensch. He's like one of those guys, a stand-up guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanjint Wiggy is on the show. Give it up, man.
Up? Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the show, bro. Long overdue. For people who don't know, I met Tanjint back. Ooh, man. Maybe we might be nearing the 10-year mark somewhere around there. It's been a long time. It
was 15 or 16, so 6 or 7 years.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. We're coming up on it. And you're an artist out of the IE. You've been a staple in the IE scene for a long time now. You've put in a lot of work. This dude has won a few contests. He just recently won. He just recently won one again, right?
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, 2 Wednesdays ago, I won the 16-bar rap competition money belt that Abstract Rude keep the feel a Project Float throw. So that was a big deal for me because I've been doing that one for 7 years. I made it to the semifinals once before. I usually lose in round 2 and all the other ones I've done. So this was my first time both making it to the finals and winning.
Wow. Congratulations, man. Well overdue.
Thank you so much.
And well earned, well deserved. Dude, I wanted to bring you on because today's theme is one, being interviewed and interviewing, right? Because you've done both. You've been on both sides. And I think it's important for people, especially young artists. Like, let's be honest. And I feel like you are very similar with us, is like we had kind of an early understanding of what at least even like local media was, like the different concepts of podcast and, we knew people who wanted to be journalists. You are, a journalist. Like I feel like we had that early, but I don't feel like that's normal. Like, I don't feel like it's normal for young artists to come up in the game and already be thinking about, how to give an interview, how to talk on camera, how to do all those things. What can you give a little insight on how you your thinking on that topic and if you even, do you feel it's important for artists to have that like in their bag?
Yeah, well, what I've noticed, something I find myself saying a lot these days is everybody does everything, right? You know, and I mean that in a good way. You know, like I know so many people like Young Miss who like she raps, she sings, and she makes beats, right? Or someone like Mescal who he engineers and he raps, you know, or someone like you have the Platform Collection, you have the Fresh State, you have your own music, like, you know, or like me, I rap, sing, I play piano, I interview, I rap, you know, like I like, you know, like we all have, you know, so I wouldn't say that, you know, in other words, it's like a video game where it's like your character could have a certain some set of skills and you only have so many points to buy skills with. It's like, which is basically a metaphor for time and resources and effort put into learning something, right? So I don't think everyone has to have the interviewing bag, but you need to have a few things in your. It's good to have a few things in your bag. It'll definitely help you stand out, help you advance in the art community. And as far as skills that you could have as an artist, I think to interview and to be interviewed is a good one, and I think you're wise to highlight it.
Yeah, and I feel like you again have like, you know, a really cool insight on this because of your position in that you've interviewed and you've also like promoted your own career as an artist. You've been on both sides.
Right.
When you are putting on your interviewer hat, how much of like the artist is present? And you feel like yourself, are you totally switched to like, I'm a journalist right now, I need to be in journalism mode? Like, where are you at with that?
I think of it like when I'm in journalist mode, and there's people who could argue against this, but for me, when I'm in journalist mode, I'm in like fan mode. You know, like I'm a fan, and you know, so I got my master's in English and creative writing and poetry from Cal State San Bernardino, right? And so I've done. So it's like what I feel like I always had the talent of writing and expressing myself in words and writing, but school, you know, helped me refine that even more. And so it's like, I feel like sometimes I'm like anyone else. I'm a consumer, I'm a fan, I'm a listener, but one of my gifts is that I could express that and I could explicate upon that. And I could talk for a long time about why I like your work and what stands out about your work, or something that's common, because we all have our tastes, right? It's like I might not like someone's work, but I might recognize what's dope about it, or in my opinion, like, okay, even though I'm not into this kind of thing, I see that it's dope in this way, or I even see, I don't like this artist so much, but he's speaking to a subsect of fans and an audience that wanted an artist like this person, and that's interesting. So, you know, as a fan, I'm able to hone in on the things that I find interesting or good, etc., about an artist and talk about it. I like to think in flowery, interesting, and effusive language, you know, and that's kind of what. So I come at it as a fan a lot of the times as a journalist.
I like that. And when you are when you choose topics to write about, where does that usually come from?
It comes from like, you know, and I admire a lot of people that do this, right? Like people are always sharing what they listen to, right? People are tweeting and now listening, you know, hashtag, you know, now playing, right? And they're talking about what they're listening to. And I do a lot of that too. I'll tweet like, I'm listening to the new KILLcRey tape, you know, this game kills verse on this KILLcRey joint is dope, or, you know, also I'll just tweet stuff out, you know, like anybody. But after a while, I saw so much of that I'm like, man, I'm listening to so much content from my friends and my peers in this SoCal indie hip hop community that it's like, why not share that, you know? And also I feel like it's undercovered. That's the reason I love, you know, like you're right, we do have a kinship. Like I relate to you, I relate to Gadzooks, I relate to King Dice and Young Miss and everybody who's taken the effort to cover each other. You know, even the homie The Thought, who I've been doing my show with, you know, he listens to and tweets about and makes his own lists of the local and broader music that he listens to. And so it's about like, I just want to let the same thing everybody's doing when they're like, oh, I'm now listening to this. I'm just going to try to give it extra. Like I'll write an article, or I'll do an interview, or I'll do a blog about it, or I'll talk about it on my YouTube show with a panel or by myself. You know, like I want to just share. This is what I'm listening to. This is what I'm digging. This is what's in my head right now.
That's dope, man. And I feel like it's really cool to have seen like the like your journey over the last few years, because you've never not been, at least to my knowledge, when I met you, you've never not been like a super fan of other artists. Like you always knew you had an amazing palette of music. It's very broad too, and it comes out in your own music, right? Like you love to be all over the place. Being in the box is not something you're comfortable doing. You need to be outside of it. It's very obvious. It's one of the things I love about you as an artist. You know me, I'm really into that kind of stuff, and I'm attracted to it. But when you're conceptualizing like your own stuff, what are some of the things you do to maybe not be overpowered by thoughts in comparisons to other artists around you? Because someone with that much knowledge, like, you know a lot about other artists and about other music, yet you still find this way to sound original. What do you credit that to?
Well, I guess it's two things, right? One is like drawing from my own unique experience, which I admit feels less unique over time, but that's okay, right? So like when West Coast Avengers started doing music in 2007, it was like, okay, what do we have to offer? We're nerds, we're stoners, we're hippies, we love hip hop, we love classic rock, like we love like 60s and 70s rock and stuff like that. So it's like, in those early years, it was like, I'm going to bring my unique experiences and my unique perspective. And then I say it's less unique over time because over time I meet more people who are kind of hippie and kind of hip hop and kind of countercultural. Yep. And then even that's interesting because
are you inspire people to be that way as well?
Have I used it, or am I inspired to be that way by that, you're saying?
No, I'm saying I've seen this myself. You've also inspired people to embrace that way of being as well.
And the nerd stuff is, thank you. I appreciate that. And I do think that we've helped some other artists feel more comfortable getting in their nerd bag.
For sure.
And I feel like there's another thing I say, like, everybody's a nerd now, but that's cool because everyone is just embracing the thing they're fans of and writing the song. People making songs about how they like wrestling and songs about how they like anime. And they're touching nerddoms that I'm not even in. Like, I'm very into American comics. I like DC and Marvel. I'm not a big I don't read a lot of manga, but I see other people who they do read manga. They read Japanese comics. Now they're rapping about that, and so that's what I was going to say is, like, even within finding other nerds and other hippies and other hybrids like us, there's still different styles. The latest one that I'm obsessed with is the Brujas brew, with Iris.
Yeah, the ladies are killing it.
And one thing that attracts me to their music and partying with them is that they're that awesome blend too, or their own version of that awesome blend. Like, it's hippie, it's witchy, it's magical, it's countercultural, but it's also hip hop and even different styles of hip hop. They got the boom bap, they got the double time, and so it's like I'm attracted to hybrids. I try to be a hybrid, and the other thing is, though, the flip side is that like all poets, I steal,
Sure.
So like, I have the song that you played in my video from May 5th, right? Where I'm like, how something in the Mexican Mecca. I got that flow from Cam Gnarly's Uber. Rolling down the street in the back of the Uber. That cadence, it's my own song. Right? I wrote my own set of lyrics to it, but I had the Cam Gnarly flow in my head. And he's another someone who's inspired me because he's on his hippie shit, he's on his stoner shit, shroomer shit, but also hip hop shit. So, and he's a Virgo like me, so it's like I related to his music, but I'm also like, I'm gonna steal it, but I'm gonna write a whole new song and do my thing with it, right?
Yeah.
And then if you look at the Cam Gnarly song, the Rolling Down the Street in the Back of the Uber, he got that from Boys in the Hood. Rolling down the street in my 6'4",
Right,
so it's like we're all stealing from each other, and it's like if you make a dish with garlic and I make a dish with garlic, it could be a similar dish, but it's going to have a slightly, Tristan made this one. Oh, this is Tristan's garlic feta fries. Oh, well, these are Chris's garlic cheese fries. It's like, we share ingredients with each other. We steal ingredients from each other, steal recipes from each other, and put our own spin on it. So it's a mix of, let me bring my own unique hybridness, but then also embracing, like, that Cam Gnarly flow is stuck in my head. I'm going to write a verse to that flow, So it's a mix of the stealing and a mix of my own originality. And I think that's true of a lot of people, honestly.
I agree. I think it is impossible not to, and that's why I asked, because I was like, there's I imagine you come across so much interesting stuff that after a while you have to go like, hey, I want to try that. Let me try it. Let me try a taste of that, or like, or it fills in a thought for you that you were kind of stuck on. You know what I mean? Like, it opens up a new chamber.
That's how I felt about when I found one of my entryways into the Inland Empire hip hop scene, because we came up with Chamber. We came up with Chamber Records in the 626 because Ross Josh, the producer from West Coast Avengers, went to middle school with those guys. So when we started doing shows in 2009 and 10, in like at Katie Jakes and Covina or Characters in Pomona, we didn't even know. I mean, we went to one common ground in 08 with Noah, the first time I met him, but we didn't really get into the IE hip hop scene before we were part of the 626 hip hop scene for years. But one of my entryways into the IE hip hop scene was the Herbalistics with Greaseball and MC Life.
Yeah, shout out to MC Life.
And oh man, yes, they're both so awesome. And hearing them, I was 27. I was just out of grad school. I saw them at a show in San Bernardino, and it was just like, oh my god, like these guys are like silly stoner guys, and they're talking about Riverside, and they're talking about being Latino, like Americanized Latino dudes in Riverside, smoking weed and hanging out with friends, having fun. I'm like, this is my life. Like these guys are. Okay, so the song "Killing Me Softly," Lauryn Hill is also, it's a cover of I forgot the original artist that did it, but "Killing Me Softly," my understanding of that song is it's about like I'm hearing an artist that is like speaking my life. Like I came into this random nightclub, and this artist that's performing right now is like happens to be singing a song that is just me. It's my life. Like, how do they know? He's killing me softly with his song, because like he's
checking all the boxes. Yeah,
he's got me, and he's got my number. He knows me. He knows my soul and my mind, and he's never even met me. That's how I felt when I heard the Herbalistics, where I was like, these dudes are doing it. Like these dudes are being, i.e., hip hop, stoner, Latino. Like and so how you were saying sometimes, you said that we helped inspire people to be more nerdy. The Herbalistics inspired me to be more IE, lean more into being a Latino rapper.
That's
and then that happened even more when I found Mescal and Mad Max and East of the River and those guys. I'm like, oh my god, the IE is part of a larger East LA, broader LA thing with Americanized Latinos who want to be heard. And there's a Chicano political consciousness to it. And Sean and I from West Coast Avengers were very political too, and that we related to that, and so, like getting inspired by the recipe and helping to inspire it.
Let me ask you this. Where does the need have you, because we had an artist on here, well, obviously them, Noah James, and Noah was talking about accepting himself as an artist, and that was a big first step, and he's like, and surprisingly enough, it was relatively recent that he really started to like accept himself as like, this is who I am, there is no other options, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. For you are a person who's consistently, I know you've taken breaks throughout the years, but you never go far from this vibe. You never go far from underground hip hop. You never go far from creating music and art. If you had to say now, as an adult, looking back on your life, do you know why? Like, do you know what it is that has kept you like continuing to create?
There's a lot of answers to that, but I'll try to narrow it down to two or three, so we get to more topics. But the two or three that come to my mind is like, my father. He passed away in 2012, but he was a French horn player, right? And he had been playing brass instruments since high school. Maybe even, but like the early high school, he was playing trumpet. By the end of high school, he was mastering the French horn, and then he got his master's degree in French horn, in music. But his job, he worked for General Motors. He sold medium duty trucks to businesses for General Motors to support me and my siblings and my mom. And so my dad was always this example of like, I could have it all. Like I could have a regular job, I could have my education, I could get my education in the arts, and then I could pursue it passionately. And it's funny, my parents always talk about, my mom now and my dad when he was alive, like, oh, your dad stopped doing music for 10 years when the kid, because I turned 3 then when we had my brother, and then I turned 6 and we had my sister, right? So it's like 3 sets of 3, they say that the first 3 years of your kid's life, you're going to just really be raising your kid because they require so much attention, right? So it's like they say that, oh, your dad stopped doing music for 10 years, but really he stopped for like 7 years, because I have distinct memories from age 7 on of my dad being very active doing music again. So even he couldn't stay away for the whole 9 years of us being little. By the, by the first year of my sister's life, he was doing music again. And so I saw that, and I was like, he does it all, and then till the end of his life, he started an opera company in Claremont with his friends, vtopera.org. He played French horn in the Claremont Symphony Orchestra. He played French horn in the Corona Symphony Orchestra. So my dad was always doing music in the IE. Yeah. He taught people, like he had students and stuff. So I was just like, I get to do my version of that. And I remember, and like, I think the universe that like, I got to tell him that in like his last year of life, which we didn't know was he died suddenly. We didn't know that he was. Yeah, like my dad saw me finish college and get accepted to grad school for poetry, and he knew that I was going to follow a similar path. I told him, like, you know what, Dad, like I'm going to be an artist like you. Like I'm going to have a regular job and a stable life because you've gotten me used to that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but I'm going to always do my art in the community. And as I get older and perform a little less, I'll continue to teach more. And I've done some tutoring and with after school hip hop youth programs in the IE for years as well. Yeah. And I feel like my ultimate trajectory is, as I get into my 40s, perhaps there'll be a little less performing and more teaching, but it's still part of the artist's journey, And so my dad's example, like I'm gonna cry thinking about this, and but in a happy cry, and I feel blessed and grateful that I get to honor my dad's example and be an artist and in my community, and that's another reason that I don't trip about like celebrity or bigger this or bigger that. Like on the one hand, Open Mike Eagle blew up when he was 37, 38. Right. So there's no timeline for this shit. Like anybody could blow, bluesman could blow up at age 51, like there's no timeline. But if I was only ever just an artist in this community, then that's beautiful. Like that was good enough for my dad. That's good enough for me,
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
I want to tell you this, man. And this is also one of the reasons we wanted to have you on the show. Everyone we bring on, we just want to make sure that that we have the utmost respect for what you do. We appreciate it. You've given us as much as you have said we've given you throughout the years with interviews, just your presence, man. And I do feel like you are, if nobody's ever told you, let us confirm it tonight for sure. You are an amazing influence on the scene. You're an amazing influence on the people around you. And I'm one of those people who is cheering you on and super glad that you exist. You know what I mean? I'm super glad that you exist, man. That's really, really dope. And hey, man, don't get me choked up too, brother.
Oh man, no, it's good. It's happy tears. It's happy tears. I appreciate that so much.
And I just, bro, because me and Eddie have said this throughout the years. Just after we'd run into you places somewhere or wherever, and I'm not saying like, you don't have your days and you're human as well, but damn, bro, if you are not one of the people who every time I've ever seen, there's like a shining light coming off of you, and it usually makes me feel better. Like, oh, there's Tanjint, cool. Like however I was feeling, I'm like, dope, Tanjint's here. It's usually going to be, it's never whack. Like when Tanjint's here, like, so you do that for us, man. And I just wanted you to know that. And I know I speak for the whole platform team. I even spoke to, very highly about you to, the newest team members so that they can know the face as well and, know the good work you're doing out there. Can you tell people, I want to get in on this really quick, and I don't care how long this takes. What do you, as somebody who is an observer of the culture, right? And you approach it from an intellectual place, right? Like you are trying to spark real conversation about the things that we love and we take in that's important to you. As someone who does all those things, right now, what do you feel like? Just take Southern California. What does the Southern California scene need the most when it comes to independent hip hop? Let's just stick with hip hop, independent hip hop. What do you feel like you'd like to see?
Oh my goodness. I mean, okay, one, I'll say briefly, like I want more people to do what you and I do and listen to each other, like listen to each other's work, and because it's such a fun and beautiful conversation to be a part of. The other thing is I want to see more people, and this is something I had to learn over the years too, to go to each other's events before you even try to get on the event.
Ooh,
and I had to learn that too. Like I used to be really
likewise.
Go to someone's event and then on the first time, like, hey, can you book me for the next time I'm here? It's like I've learned now that you go 2 or 3 times and they'll ask you. Go a few times and support someone's stuff, and they'll probably ask you to be part of it because they're because the same thing, because we connect and they want, and they're happy for your energy and happy for your presence. And the other thing, this one's harder. This is socioeconomic, and this is very much in the IE, but it's more of an IE problem. But
Sure.
venues, man. Like the Vibe shut down. Noah James used to run the Common Ground after that. I saw that Noah James is starting Audio Dope, so I'm super, super excited to see something monthly happen again that Noah will be running, because that was such a major thing. And it's like, and I don't say that in a way to sound entitled or to take it for granted, because Lisa and Noah worked their asses off on that stuff, but it's, and it was, and it had nothing to do with them or the Vibe closed. It was the economy and all kinds of stuff, and so it's like the Vibe closed, Phantom Threat had serious cartoons, and that kind of picked up the torch when the Vibe shut down. We had Serious Cartoons, which is a smaller spot, but it was still super cool to do shows at that record store, And then I think, COVID kind of ended the run of Serious Cartoons in San Bernardino. Now Serious Cartoons is by you in Tijuana. So we'll have to make a pilgrimage sometime. And I think that's such a beautiful. I haven't been there yet to the Tijuana location, but how cool to have
it's
that.
Just dope,
To have an IE San Diego convergence like that.
Yeah, that's really dope.
It's going to be a bunch of IE and San Diego hip hop people coming together at Serious Cartoons in the coming times.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
amazing.
That's I'm excited to see you at the next things that Phantom and Gilead throw at the Serious
Hell
Cartoons there. But so that's something I think about a lot. Is like a venue will shut down and then one will open and then that'll shut down, and so we're always just looking for more places to do it. And so that's something I want to see more of too.
That's really dope.
Fire,
Thank you for sharing that with us, because I think it's important.
Sure.
I remember speaking to you probably the first time I interviewed you on Crappy Awesome. I remember Arash and I sharing with you like the necessity that we saw at that time was the necessity to have more cultural observers and people breaking down things on an intellect. I knew that we needed that part, right? I mean, we were very rapper centric. Early on in the scene, it was mostly rappers. That was who the centerpiece was. But now I like the fact that we have these, really just great minds spread throughout our scenes, commentating on these things, right? And the people that I really do follow and I really fuck with are commentating in a way that's responsible. Like they understand the power of words, but they're being honest, and it's coming from a real place. And I think the more we have of that, the more our scene can grow and blossom and become what I always see it being. You know what I mean? Like I've always seen it being this vast grouping of artists that have so many different skill sets that we can, if need be self-contained during hard times, during times that, especially like these economic imbalances that are going to continue. We all know they're going to continue, and we're going to need to find alternatives. If we have a strong foundation of unity, based on real understanding, right? Real understanding, because of these kind of conversations, because of these people taking time for that, not just us assuming we know how we all feel. Because what these kind of interviews have done for me, if anything, and you're part of this, is made me see how many different opinions there truly are. There's an amazing amount of vast, beautiful, truly dope opinions that can all help the scene. But I mean, there needs to be a place for that to play itself out. And I think you provide platforms like that. And I think that's, you deserve an applause for that. And I think that it's really amazing, man.
Thank you so much. And, I just started my new YouTube show.
Yep, shout it out.
Tapped in with Tanjint.
Yep.
And we don't have a regular day. We tend to do Wednesdays. And it's only a couple times a month so far. So we're getting started. You know how it is. Yep. And it's been featuring The Thought. He's from, I knew him from Pomona. People say he's from Pasadena. He's from all over SoCal, really. And now he's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we do it like this. We stream, with each other and talk. And the reason I picked The Thought to be the co-host of the first 3 episodes with me is that I don't know anybody else who listens to as much, i.e. hip hop, just already without having to be told to. Wow. Besides me than That's him, dope. Right? And so, and it's really funny because people say it has a Paula Abdul, me, and a Simon Cowell, him dynamic, because I'm very positive about people's work.
Sure.
For a lot of reasons, and it's my natural inclination too. And The Thought's very, it's reductionist to say very harsh, but let's just say compared to me, he's very harsh.
Yeah.
You know, and so but people have responded to that exactly how I hoped they would. You know, which is like they enjoy that. They're like, okay, if my stuff gets talked about, at least Tanjint's going to be on there saying something nice. And then if I'm really dope, then the thought likes it too. You know,
yeah.
You know, and people like are curious, like, well, has the thought heard my stuff? Like there's already buzz about how harsh he is, and will he talk about my album next? And I hope that it's something to balance, right? Because you don't want to be cruel.
Right.
And I don't think he is cruel. I think his opinions are founded on actually checking out work. But you know, he has a different ear than I do in a lot of ways.
Sure.
You know? And so you know, so it's really fun. It's really fun to do the show with him. We talk about IE hip hop. He shows me stuff from broader areas too, from beyond IE, beyond Cali. And so we try to get some indie music in there in general, in addition to IE hip hop. And then we talk a little bit about nerd movies and stuff. So, you know, it's a culture podcast, but we definitely focus on IE hip hop and music videos and albums. But yeah, that's my latest big push to give a platform for the discussion you're talking about.
And tell people how they can follow you and do that and support you, like with the stuff you're doing right now. What's the easiest way to do that?
So we're tapped in with Tanjint. That's on Untapped Hip Hop's YouTube page. Productive Culture produces the podcast. Untapped Hip Hop produces the podcast. I'm really blessed to have these two production companies from the IE behind me on this endeavor. It's a huge blessing. And but you can check it out at Untapped Hip Hop, their YouTube page. And there's the first 3 episodes out now. And then as far as me, there's westcoastavengers.com to catch West Coast Avengers. My link tree on the at Tanjint Wiggy. Tanjint is TANJINT WIGGY. Tanjint Wiggy at Tanjint Wiggy. I have a link tree on there that has, you know, all the relevant links for me. westcoastavengers.com is, you know, me and my crew's website. You can catch. I have a blog spot at tangent.blogspot.com. I blog for Juicebox. I blog for Platform Collection. I'll be getting back into blogging again soon too. But I'm kind of having fun doing it in the YouTube show format right now.
Nice.
Dope. There it is, guys. So please support everything Tanjint does. Trust me, he'll be back. He's going to become a normal cast member on this show. And trust me, all things IE hip hop, this is the guy. Go there, support all that. Especially if you're an IE artist and maybe you haven't quite quote unquote tapped in yet. This is the guy for you. Send him your music, get him all your stuff. Trust me, he loves to start the dialogue. And if you're working hard, you know, maybe you can get featured as well, man. Thank you so much, bro, for coming on. And please don't be a stranger. Come back soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing and talking to y'all soon.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
Much love.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Tanjint Wiggy. One of the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's the homie right there, man. Please support everything he does. I can't say enough about him. I mean, it's just one of those cool things when you know there's just cool people out there. It makes everything feel like it's all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean, Eddie?
Yeah, for sure, man. I didn't know about the classes he was doing, but that's dope, man. You know,
dude, my dude is a professor.
His performance.
He's a goddamn hip-hop professor, for God's sakes.
Bro, that's
this guy.
fire, man.
You know?
Definitely. Gonna keep following him, man. You guys go follow him.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna play. You know what? I think I'm gonna play one of my all-time favorites for him, and then we're gonna be back with Parker Edison coming up, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna be talking to you about the Parker Edison project. If you don't know about it,
you will soon.
I don't know what you've been doing. So let's do this.
Yeah.
Let me wheel this up real quick. This is one of my favorite songs, man. Roz Jaws Beats, Tanjint Wiggy. Don't spark the blunt without me. This is one of his old school songs, but man, every time he does this at a show, it makes me happy. So let's watch it, yeah?
Yes.
And we'll be right back.
Every day we are just making our way, but you know how we feel when the leaf is in peace. Every night we are making it right. We gotta roll it up tight. Every time we unite. Oh, homies, don't spark the blunt without me. Don't spark the blunt without me. For Just wait for me before you spark that. Oh, homies, don't spark the blunt without me. Don't spark the blunt without me. For real, y'all, please don't doubt me. Don't spark the blunt without me, out me. Don't spark the blunt without me. I'm asking you, don't spark the blunt without me. Please wait for me before y'all get cloudy. Don't spark the blunt without me, out me. It's 11:20, the party is getting rowdy. My living room getting crowded, it's skewing, it's kinda dowdy. And that is when I proudly say I am heading outy for brew. And when I come back through, let's make it cloudy with you. Please pass Sham the materials. He could twist the bleeds while I cruise with some brews up in my vehicle, be timing it. I am not making no promises. The blunt I smoke, the blunt that I speak, is like a hominin' kush. Indica dominant haze from where Obama lived. The crew I'm rhyming with, we wanna be getting that prominence. But for now I'm pulling up, and I cannot wait to puff. I'm bleezy up in the easy with homies, so fill a cup, turn up. Approaching midnight is louder, so do not doubt it. Sound ordinance, we flouting, the homies just twisting, shouting. I'm thankful for this moment of happy in which you found me. I'm back with the lighter, don't smoke on that blunt without me. Don't spark the blunt without me. Don't spark the blunt without me. For real, y'all, please don't doubt me. Don't spark the blunt without me, out me. Don't spark the blunt without me. Don't spark the blunt without me. Please wait for me before y'all get cloudy. Don't spark the blunt without me, out me. Without me, without me.
I'm mute, man. But
Oh,
anyways.
you
you
gotta
hear me?
just stop.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Tanjint.
Yeah, man. What a dope song, bro.
We're back. We got Parker Edison coming up, man. If you're in the IE area, hit up Tanjint. He is that guy that you just hit up about anything in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what's going on, and he's the go-to guy. He's the plug, as you kids would say nowadays. He's the plug. He
okay. The plug.
Yeah, he knows where to send you if you're looking for that good hip hop. He's the guy. So hit him up and then check out his show, Untapped. It's on Untapped's YouTube page, Untapped Hip Hop, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing interviews, and I love it. Yeah, he's one of those guys that I'm glad is doing a podcast. He's overdue because he's such a thinker when it comes to music and art. He's such a thinker. He's just a thinker. He peels the layers.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to do that. He loves to see the mind behind the art. So that's really dope.
Oh, he's real good at it, man. For sure.
He is really good at it. Yeah, and it's cool to hear about his dad too. I didn't know. That his dad was a lifelong artist, and that he was able to share that with him before his dad's passing. So that's really cool. And my dude is super educated, by the way. Dropping that master's on you. Bam!
Oh, take that.
Get that bag, son.
Booyaka, booyah.
Booyaka. You know what I mean? But we got Parker Edison coming up, man. If you guys don't know Parker Edison, he is the host of the Parker Edison Project podcast on KPBS and NPR. You can find him anywhere podcasts are streaming. He's also a family member of ours, the PlatformCollection team. He's going to be coming up. We're going to be talking to him about his journey. He does an all audio podcast, which is, in the days of video.
Yeah.
Risky, right? I don't know. He's killing it. Audio podcasting is still a real thing, and I'd say it's more alive than it's ever been because Parker Edison project is killing it.
Has arrived.
And I just think that there's a way to do audio podcasting now. You know, because it's so saturated. If you're like, oh man, I want to make a podcast, but there's so many podcasts. I think you got to really look into what Parker Edison did. I mean, his podcasts are very non-traditional. When you play his podcast, I've always said this, and I've always compared it to a mixtape. It feels like a mixtape of thoughts and intellectual topics and culture. It's a mixtape of culture. That's what it is. It's a culture mixtape. And if that sounds like something that would appeal to you, then you should check out the Parker Edison project. Anywhere podcasts are found. He's going to be coming up soon. We're going to be talking to him. In fact, I think I'm going to play some of his music because in case you didn't know this, Parker Edison is also
a dope
dedicated musician. And you know what? I don't even think you know about this quite yet because I just found this out. Parker Edison very well might be making his return to music.
What?
There's a project being talked about. Maybe we can get him to talk about it a little bit. I don't know.
Squeeze something out of him.
He's, you know, how Parker is. He doesn't like to talk about things until they're out or whatever. But we'll see if we can squeeze some info out on that. And he has been an accomplished musician for a while. His last group was a group called the Elephants in the Room with DJ Gargar. And let's play some of that music. And when we come back from that, we'll talk to Parker.
Let's do this.
Deal?
Yep.
Deal. Let's do this. This is the Elephants in the Room. So check them out.
That's what you ask yourself the whole time you're watching it.
There's a movie called Butt Boy?
That's the hotel housekeeping.
Let this bong rip sink and then I get it a stop. Take a shot cause I'm drinking like it's 6 in the evening. I don't wake up till dark. Voice cracking, jagged, hella raspy. Thinking outward of a shower telepathically. Picturing the world, how I'ma run it like athletes. Strategic ideologies, Aristotle on asses. Mixed in with nasty, sincere for belly. Had a touchy grade, there's nothing cats can tell me. So focused when I walk in the spot, the DJ starts this.
Hey, take those pajamas off and put on these house clothes. We came here for that ruckus. I'ma play this swing and when we come back after the chorus, I want that second verse to be raw.
Confetti flowing through the sky to the stage. Some nights it's like parades. This is one of them.
So spin it on my ladies, fellas, busters, hustlers, everybody. Put a band up.
Confetti flowing through the sky to the stage. Some nights it's like parades. This is one of them. So spin it on my ladies, fellas, busters, hustlers, everybody. Put a band up. Talk dirty like a streetwalker's minces with a bowl that they're mixing Pruno. You know, my filthy penmanship bends and reshapes the images. Something like Picasso was still entirely different. Feeling like the king, return of the magnificent. Style Junior, now true fist to the North Park. Of course, my pole is 5 mics by the 4th bar. Scorecard pointing straight up like the North Star. Or I be back in the bar taking more shots than Spike Lee season seats sitting at courtside. So faded when I hop in the lift, nod off when the seatbelt clicks.
Hey, another word for a crook is a con, and another word for money is fetty. So when we say confetti, we say cricket money. You get it?
Confetti flows through the sky to the stage. Some nights it's like parades. This is one of them. So spin it on my ladies, fellas, busters, hustlers, everybody. Put a band up. Confetti flows through the sky to the stage. Some nights it's like parades. This is one of them. So spin it on my ladies, fellas, busters, hustlers, everybody. Put a band up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Parker Edison.
Wow, that's fire every time I hear that, man.
The elephants in the room, to be exact. Shout out to DJ Gar. But we got Parker Edison on the line. The Zoom line is hot. He's coming in hot. He's into a season of the Parker Edison project already. So if you haven't caught up, please catch up. Go back and get the first season, though, because that shit, that should be like a box set that we take offline and make it like super, like you have to pay like $1,000 to get all of it because it's so super fiery. But apparently it's free for now. So
till further notice.
Yeah, we're not trying to make no money. It's just free. We give away the game. We give away the game. But we got Parker Edison project. Parker Edison project. Well, he is a project in himself, isn't he?
Oh, of course.
He is. I feel like he is like a self-projecting person. Yeah. You don't know what that means. Never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, Parker Edison is here, man. What's up, brother?
Yeah.
Hey, man. How are you doing? Do you feel like you're in a place right now as because for a long time you were just an artist, and I don't mean to undermine that statement at all. I mean, but you were an artist. You weren't a journalist, is what I'm saying. And now you've become a journalist, or at least I don't know. Do you feel like you're a journalist? Do you feel like you've stepped into that place?
Yeah, I think even before now, I would call myself a multimedia journalist because I might do rap records, or I might be writing an article, or I might be curating a live event, and all of that is journalism. So I think I was falling under that, but I definitely think this is a more solidified place to do art. So I think it's kind of like a nod to myself, and then by proxy, the people I choose to highlight, it's a nod to their validity and the credibility of their art.
Yeah, you say like a nod to yourself. Like, expand on that a little bit. Has this always been like an artistic goal for you? Like, I want to tell stories. Like that's been part of it.
Always. I always wanted to convey, my life and the various parts of it. So sometimes a big thing that I'm real big into is movies. So I review movies, and then I like to shoot short films because that's as close as you can get to reading somebody's mind. You get to see how they do something, how it looks, what happens next. So, and then the same thing with music. Like I definitely do music to kind of convey the feeling or the aesthetic that I'm feeling. And so I definitely want to be a storyteller. And this is a platform that specializes in storytellers and giving them a place to do their work. And so for them to open up space for us, not just me, because you're head editor, you're a co-creator, you help shape every episode, and all of us, everyone who plays a part, it gives us all a place on the platform to kind of bring these stories to life.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I definitely have found with working with your podcast and having the pleasure of like being on it as well. I definitely found it like for me creatively, it has become a place where I feel like I get to use like almost all my creativity when I'm putting together like an episode, right? Because you're thinking about music, you're thinking about voice. I'm using mastering skills. You and I are really big on it, on like the audio experience, right? We're really big on that. We've been big on that. We kind of promised each other that was going to be a big part of the show from the beginning, and it has always been a big part of the show, the audio experience of it. But that concept, like, let's not get it twisted. That was your concept. Was it a mixtape concept? Did it come from mixtapes? Is that where the idea came from?
Not initially.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had that aesthetic because we work in the mixtape world.
Right.
And so whatever I would create would kind of be that way. But I think you mentioned it one time, sometime maybe around like the third or fourth episode. I think you you kind of threw that out there, and then it really began to lean into that vibe.
Yeah. And now that it is like it is it what you envisioned when you first started out on the project? Is this what you envisioned it to be?
It's what I want, but not how I ever could have imagined. And I like that. I really like that.
Well, expand on that. What do you mean? Like it wasn't, this wasn't what it looked like in your head? Is that what you're saying? Oh, did we lose him? Oh, I think we lost Parker. Are you back, Parker? We might have lost his audio. We'll get it dialed in right now. Give me a thumbs up, Parker, if you can hear us.
There it is.
Okay, there he is. Okay, he's back on. So expand on that a little bit. It didn't look like what you thought it was gonna be initially when it was in your head. Like what take us from that, because that'd be interesting for especially people who've listened to the show. What was it when it first came out, when it first popped into your head? Yo, I'm gonna do a podcast. What was that? Where were you at?
It was don't let me lie, it was an Instagram show, that Platform Collection. It was in the roster of Instagram shows, along with Beat Block wasn't there, but it in the same lineup that we have. Heartful Truth wasn't there just yet, but
right. It was Platform TV, right? Platform TV.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so it was that, which was just like a short 15-minute type thing, less than that, and of just doing interviews and talking to whoever I was with, and taking the camera wherever I was going, which is an idea that Platform Collection was doing, and that was seen by Kurt Conan of KPBS, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to expand this idea?" And so that was the initial version of it. It's very short, 10, 12 minutes. And when they gave it to me, I initially pitched them something called This American, which was almost examining the different races that we have and their individual kind of cultures. So being like Black American, Latin American, all the different cultures as they interact with rap in the city. That was the original idea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they were like, nah, that's not you. They were like, we like you. We want that. So reshape the whole idea. And then they were like, called the Parker Edison Project. And I was like, or not that, but they were like leaning towards something like that. And that name came out, and essentially they were saying, do more of yourself. Let it embody what Platform TV was doing. And so if nothing else, the ideas that I had this would be, it started one place and fully has become something completely different. And then, of course, working with different people, working with Kurt, and then the staff, and then you, and we've been able to make it morph and become this other thing that it is. It's becoming more of itself. It's less of what I imagine. Yeah,
I feel that. Yeah, and I think that it definitely has kind of taken a life of its own now. I mean, it's very rare that you and I work on an episode and we're not like surprised at the end of the episode of the direction it takes. It usually, to me, that's one of the more exciting parts about the show, is that usually we get this raw material, and then you and I are kind of sitting with the raw material, going over the raw material, and through the process of editing and going through it, it becomes this thing. And that to me is still like, because like say in music, right? Like you and I have been doing music for a long time. We kind of have that thing down, right? Like, how to make a song, how to write a song, what kind of song, how to construct it. It's very rare that you can't make a song. But with the podcast and this type of podcast, the challenge in it, I think almost every time, correct me if I'm wrong, but almost every time we get the initial stuff at the beginning, we're like, this is crap. It's not going to work. I don't know what we're going to do. Like literally every time we're like, I don't know if we have enough. I think we messed up. I don't know if we got all the parts. And then by the end, we usually sit there and we're laughing about like, yo, this is really dope. Like this is something that I would listen to. And I think that's important because as artists, loving your own work is so important. You know, like people don't say that enough. You know, I think there tends to be a lot of shame about like loving your own work, you know, but I think the reason that the Parker Edison Project has found the success it's had is because like me and Parker really we love it. Like we love doing it. Even when it is stressful, I think we kind of, at least I know, I'm speaking for myself, Parker, I know what it's doing, like culturally. Like I know what it's doing. Do you feel the same? Do you kind of know now how it's affecting the people that are listening to it?
I feel the same way that you do. I feel the same way. And you know, cats come up and they tell me what they think of it and the place that they think it's the position it's beginning to hold. And
yeah.
Very much what you're saying, man, where it's like it's an adventure where we don't even, just like you're saying, man, we don't know what it's gonna be, but there's that quote where they're like, if you want to make something good, you get all the ingredients and start cooking and leave a window open for God.
Yeah. Right.
It's that, man. We don't know what it's, you know, but maybe that's what's gonna make it good, is because if you only do what you know how to do, you can't get any further than that. But the way we're doing it, we're leaving it this space for, you know, for it to be something bigger than we could predict.
Yeah, I feel like every season too, we've had to learn a new skill. Like I know I've had to learn new skills, editing and even just recording stuff. I know you've had to do interviewing, speaking, even the way we set up our meetings. We're constantly learning new skills. And again, like I said, for somebody like my first love being music, you know, doing it so long, you know, hopefully you get kind of good at it and you're able to do it. And the challenge isn't always as great. And this is like one of those things that helps me with all my other art. Like doing this podcast helps me with all my other art because it keeps like the creative flow going, and doing the Parker Edison Project does that same thing for me. Like if I'm stuck musically, I can jump into the podcast. And for some reason, I always come out with something. And you know, you and I have both talked about this, right? Like we've gotten ideas for other shows and other things that we're working on that, you know, we'll talk about in the future, but we've gotten ideas from the Parker Edison Project. Like working on that show has created other shows. And that's kind of when I always know, like, if we're onto a good idea. Like if this idea is starting to spark other good ideas, it's a good idea, you know?
Then God bless this show, because brother, you have been on a motherfucking tear with these fucking singles and these motherfucking records, like with the fucking simple and the remixes and the videos, motherfucker. God bless it, because damn, Brody, the shorts, is it shorts? Summer in the shorts? What's the new one?
Shorts and a sweater. Yeah,
man, listen. God damn.
Yo, you brought it up, so don't get mad at me. Is music in your future? You technically retired. You were pretty vocal about it. You were like, I'm not making another project. I'm not doing another thing. There's rumors in these streets, Parker. You know, Parker Edison Project is close to the streets. You know it. You can hear the streets you can almost hear it on it. Oh, is he getting it? Oh, he's back. Okay. But, is music coming in your future? Are we going to get some more Parker Edison on the mic?
One, I think my internet's being crazy. There it is. We'll see. I right now I'm really trying to focus and do the podcast and try and, you know, be completely present for that. Like, yeah, be just like if you're, you know, not to compare it because it's far harder to do, but if you have a child, to give my complete attention to raising that child instead of trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna take on these other things. So I'm really focused on that. But you know, if some opportunities should pop up, so
Okay. I see. For like the real G's will know what you just did right there. I'm not even I'm reading the room. I'm feeling the vibe. But the real G's, just let it be known that this is recorded. So play it back a few times, and you'll be able to piece it together. Especially if you're from Southern California, you will. Okay, so well that's positive. Let's just say, guys, if you don't know what just happened there, that's positive. It's positive.
Yeah,
there's a good thing coming,
good
dude.
stuff.
What can people expect from the Parker Edison project for the rest of the season? If you are caught up, give us some tidbits of what's coming.
We're killing it. We're killing it. And I liked last season. I thought last season was good. And again, I can say that because it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the people and what they chose to discuss. And
yeah. Great guess.
It is so we're killing them. This Wednesday, an episode on the land comes through, and it's one of my favorites. It's we do a lot of rap, but we want to expand things. We do a lot of rap and funk. This one has an all jazz score, scored by art and drum genius Nathan Hubbard.
Yep, shout out Nathan Hubbard.
Yeah, man. And we're talking about the importance of having nature in the inner city, and we get to talk to some just amazing people there. We got Miss Lolly coming back for episode 5, our risque reporter. Brody, and she's having a conversation that just floors me. Like, to this day, to this minute, I'm still playing back the raw tape and just being like, wow, that's such intricate stuff that she's discussing. And so that's something. And then somewhere around episode 6 or 7, we talk about how people are trying to steal Skyline and the topic of gentrification and remodeling in the city. And so we're all over the map, and it's so impressive that people were so genuine and giving with their time and their ideas.
Yep. Yeah. And it's been it has been I know this side you and I take very serious, like the fact that the people who've shared their stories have been so open and raw on the Parker Edison project has been it's been honor that they first would choose to do that with us. But the stories, guys, if you haven't heard the show, please, there isn't an episode where you don't laugh, you don't feel a little moved, and trust me, we're heads, so we're putting you on to some dope music. I think I want to say we're one of the only podcasts who've gotten like literally exclusive songs that are made just for a podcast episode. I mean, we have some gems on there, so I'm not even going to give it away because I think you need to go find it. Our podcast episodes are like the crates. So go through the crates. You're going to find a bunch of hits. You're going to find something that you're going to like no matter what. You're going to find it. But yeah, if you're a music lover, trust me, we go big on there. 2Mex has been on there, Micah 9, a host of MCs, Evidence, a bunch of people. So go check it out. The Parker Edison Project, anywhere podcasts are found. A new episode dropping this Wednesday, The Land. It's coming out. It is one of my favorite episodes as well, so please check it out. I think just the editing, the scoring of it was really cool, and the messages on it. I'm learning a lot. Bro, are you not, trust me, on a sort of a tangent, are you not learning a lot from this podcast? Like just shit like that I think I should have known and I didn't know. Like when we bring these guests on, I'm like, how did I not know that was going on in California or even in my city, San Diego? They're dropping crazy things on us all the time.
Bro, I'm learning 3 times as much as the listeners because we're cutting out.
Yeah.
Stuff. We don't want to overwhelm them. I'm learning so effing much, bro. So much. It's humbling. Dude,
I just want to thank you, bro, for thinking of me when you were putting this thing together. Like I said, it's been one of the for sure honors of my life putting together this podcast. I'm very prideful about this podcast. It's something that I really pushed to the front of my creativity. I love bragging about it because I just think it's so good, and I'm honored to be a part of it, dude. Thank you so much for bringing it to PlatformCollection as well. And man, you're killing it, bro. And hopefully we'll get the opportunity to talk to you later about music. If that does become part of your future, hopefully you'll come back on. Tell people how to listen to the Parker Edison Project and how to follow and support you.
Google it. That's always the thing.
Yep.
Google Parker Edison, Google the Parker Edison Project podcast. And that's the fastest. Anywhere that you check out podcasts, it's there. You can stream it. Easy to find. And can I give 2 quick shout outs real fast?
Absolutely. You got the floor.
I want to shout out the homegirl 7 because she's such a hard worker, and I'm always watching what she's doing, and she never ever she doesn't care who's watching, and I just wanted to know, I'm always watching. And then I want to shout out my favorite DJ, which is DJ Eddie on the radio from TCFM.
Yes, thank you.
Faithfully, one of my favorites. Thanks y'all so much.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it,
man, we love you, bro. We'll talk to you soon, obviously. And guys, support everything Parker Edison Project. And then follow Parker Edison too. Follow all his links because we want reports. If you guys hear music leaking out anywhere, we need to hear about it first here, or there will be blood on the streets. Boom. We'll see you soon, Parker.
Thank you.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Parker Edison.
Wow. Gems after gems with that one as well.
Never a boring dude.
At all.
Never a boring dude. Guys, yeah, I talk about it a lot. I know you guys have heard me talk about it a lot, the Parker Edison Project. It is because over at Platform Collection, we are very proud of that show. It has, I feel like we're winning some awards this year, some podcast awards. It's on an amazing network, KPBS, powered by NPR, pushes KPBS, if you know NPR, Tiny Desk and all that good stuff. So Parker's there, man, killing it as a host. And what he's talking about, DJ Eddie, we won't even explain what that is. Go listen to some episodes and you'll hear about DJ Eddie.
Yep.
In fact, this is one of the cool things that we've done with the show, because I don't know about you guys, when I was first coming up in hip hop and I was really listening to like everything that was coming out, a lot of the stuff I would get drawn to, records were records with skits on them. I loved when there were skits on records, right? And then I loved finding out later when I would study those skits or those records that the people in those skits would be like other artists who just happened to be in the studio and they're like, play this role real quick. And, you do that. Well, on the Parker Edison Project, we do that all the time. So you're going to hear, there's a lot of voices that you will have heard throughout the underground hip hop world that pop up on the Parker Edison Project all the time. So if you can hear those voices or you can call them out, hit us with a message. If you hear the DJ Eddie drop too, hit us with a message. Let us know you're listening. Parker Edison Project, anywhere podcasts are found. We're growing it. We're growing this ship that we're making, Platform Collection. We're growing it steady but surely. And we want to thank you guys for supporting it, for letting us do what we do. We love what we do, and we promise to show that we love what we do by getting better at it and continuing to get better at it.
Right.
I hope you guys have at least seen that we're putting some effort across the board on all of our shows to try to take us to another level. We want you guys to be proud of us, especially you guys who've been riding with us from the very beginning. I think about you guys when we create shit. So I think it's dope that you guys have been riding with us for this long, and hopefully you'll continue to ride with us. Eddie, what say you?
Yeah, man, I think they will. They'll continue to ride. I mean, they've been riding with us for a while now, and we're definitely delivering the guests of the best, So, and they're getting their learning lessons as far as how to, be
like maneuver.
Yeah, the maneuvers of the whole thing, like how to do this, how to do that, and how to push yourself, how to, get out of the funk and all that kind of stuff.
Did you say get out of the fuck?
Funk, man. Funk,
oh, whoa.
funk.
Oh,
No,
shit.
no, man.
I was
No,
like,
no.
God damn. What were you doing in the fuck?
Nothing, man.
I'm hoping that I want to create a dialogue with the audience, because I want to bring on artists and people that they feel that can help them. So if you're a listener of the show, you're a watcher of the show, And maybe we haven't covered a topic that's affecting you artistically yet. Let us know. And we'll try to do that. That's what we're here. We're trying to provide this service for you guys so that you guys can see through the stories of other artists how that relates to you in your own journey. Hopefully you find some answers. You don't have to do what I did, is just kind of wandered around until I found some answers, and hopefully people could help. We're trying to stop all that.
Yeah,
we're giving away the game for free. You can have the game for free. And the people we bring on believe in that concept as well. The people we bring on, they believe that you should be getting this game and that it shouldn't be so hard for you to find a little help, just a little sliver of help in this game, because it's hard enough. So if you can get some support from just listening to this show for your own journey, then mission accomplished.
Definitely. There's a lot for everybody to eat out there. So
yeah,
you just have to
share some food too. By the way,
for sure.
Share some food, man. You ain't gonna starve.
Nope, not at all.
There's people like us out there that will always serve you a plate. So shout out to you guys for tuning in. Who do we have coming on next week? Do we know? Oh, by the way, this week we were going to run back a Reverie interview that we had on Crappy Awesome, but there's still some stuff I want to add to it. So we'll be running it in the near future, maybe next week, because I think we only have one guest book so far for next week.
We do. We got
an opening.
El
Nino, who used to be Ends. So we're going to be talking to him about going international. He's gone international. He's gone into Latin America from Orange County. I think he's won multiple times Orange County Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Right.
Again, used to go by Ends, now goes by El Nino. Is dabbling in the Spanish market. So if you want to know about going international, how do you make that happen? Man, again, I'm telling you guys, we're serious about these topics. We're trying to hit every topic you could possibly run into as an independent artist. So next week, we're talking about going international. El Nino is going to be sharing his time. And guys, please support the artists that we bring on.
Yes.
Again, they're sharing their time they don't get paid for this. If we had a budget like that, me and Eddie would probably be in the Bahamas somewhere
doing the show.
But we don't. So they come on for free.
Yes.
And we give them hugs, and then they give you guys love. And so support them. Give them a like, give them a follow, slide them a message.
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah, hit a little fire emoji on their next post, and then call it even. You know what I mean? Like, we're not asking for a lot, but
if
please
you
support.
want to do a lot, comment on their videos.
Yeah, and then if you want to do a lot for us, what can they do?
They can subscribe. They can put the bell or the alarm
the alerts.
The alerts.
Yep.
Hit the like and share our stuff, and also throw us a comment.
Yeah, throw a comment. That really helps. Even if the comment is what?
It's like you hate us or you love us.
Yeah,
we take them all.
Or like 3 periods in a row.
That works
or,
too. A little,
or a little peace sign.
Yeah,
you know, or the little shit emoji.
I like the hearts, man. They make me feel warm.
Oh, the heart. Eddie wants hearts. I'll take a shit emoji. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
We're out here working for these. We're fucking dancing out here for you guys, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So keep showing love. Parker Edison Project. Shout out to y'all for coming through. Shout out to Tanjint. Support all them. IE stand up. San Diego stand up. Next week we got Orange County tapping in, and like I said, the Reverie interview will be coming up. But in fact, just total transparency. I talked to Reverie yesterday. We were with Reverie yesterday at a secret show where the Invisible Ponchos performed. Shout out to Beardo. Shout out to Salvi Mommy.
Yes.
Shout out to American Air, OG Husky Radio. Shout out to all y'all for hosting the Invisible Ponchos, Reverie. It was a really dope event. Looking forward to doing that again. But I talked to Reverie there, so maybe we're just going to be bringing Reverie on. It's just because there's so much good stuff on that interview. I want to do something with it. But
you can break it in some pieces.
But Reverie's so current all the time, you know. I mean, she's very big on what she's doing now. So I think we're just going to bring her through possibly. So look out for that. Stay tuned. But guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We're here every Sunday, 7 o'clock. Why do I say 9? 9 is when we end.
Yes.
9. We usually end around 9.
Yes.
Somewhere around there. But 7 o'clock, we're here live. Again, maybe for a limited time. I don't know how long we're going to keep going live. Because we're just recording the podcast and you guys are watching us record the podcast. with all the non-edited parts anyways. And then when we post this, it's edited anyway. So I don't know. I like talking to people in the chat room from time to time though. So that's fun. But I also want it to be as clean as possible. I don't want the internet to drop out as much. So I don't know. But we're live for the time being. Nonetheless, Sunday, 7 p.m., you're always going to find us here. My name is KILLcRey. That is OG Hip Hop Eddie.
Yes, that's me.
Follow him on Instagram. Let's get OG Hip Hop Eddie's followers up. How about we do that this year?
Let's do that.
That'd be a good thing. So let's get OG Hip Hop Eddie's followers up. That's how you can support the show. Go over there, follow OG Hip Hop Eddie. And we'll see you guys next time. That was the internet, and we saw a lot of it, I guess.
We did.
All right, man. We'll see you guys next time.